Dia Moore, Kayla Wilson, and Joseph Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd all rise and remove cover if able for the singing of our national anthem. The Frederick Douglass High School Choir from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, under the direction of Nicholas Turner. And while they make their way out, let's give a nice salute and send off to our color guard, Lieutenant Hector Reyes from the Maryland National Capital Park Police, Prince George's County Division, Corporal Natil Stewart, also from the Maryland National Capital Park Police, Prince George's County Division, Corporal Megan Law from the Montgomery County Division, and Officer T.C. Gordon from the United States Park Police. I'm Oliver Kennedy, and I'm joined tonight by Stephen Wilds.
Thank you very much.
And Stephen is going to take you around the course and tell you a little bit about what we're going to expect here in our first competition.
Absolutely. As we heard in the run-up there, we have got some of the very best coming to you, some major players, not just from the US, but around the world. The course itself for this first round of this jump-off competition is over a track designed by Bernardo Costa Cabral of Portugal. The Delta fence is your first on course, rolling back to the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup fence. Then you're on a three-stride distance down to the Mars Equestrian fence, of course, our presenting sponsors here in Washington. Down towards the entrance gate, you see the lamplights there at fence 4. Very delicate fence there to get to that part of the course. And then alongside the arena side, the orange ox again on a related distance. And this is where it gets tricky on the way into that double there. It is so easy to have that first vertical off at 5. One stride distance on the way out to 5B. And then it is from there, 6B rather, and then it is the triple in the middle. Right in the center there, you see the triple bar. They stretch out over that. The key is to have the horses back to them again for the Buckeye fence at the next as well. So easy, just roll on from there. From 8, 9A and B, the Longines double coming up, our presenting sponsors of that Longines FEI Jumping World Cup here this week in Washington. And then a water tray with the white poles at 10, not so easy to see for the horses, not very standout. Again, another one that could drop easily. Final line is the silver birch double, and finally down to the Washington International Horse Show fence at the last. The time allowed is 65 seconds. If they get round all of that without having a fence down or stopping and getting inside the time, well, they come up to the jump-off, which takes place after the first round. Top competition, top-class riders, and almost set to start for the first of 2 big classes here tonight. $75,000 in the prize funds for today's welcome stake. Looking forward to how this plays out. Total of, that we'll see, 28 to go in the first round of tonight's welcome class.
Good evening and welcome to Washington. Our Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Series here gets going on the East Coast. We've of course already had a leg in Sacramento. We're looking forward to tonight's, or Saturday night's, leg of the World Cup, see who will take up the 20 points. Following in the footsteps of Connor Swale. Connor, a 3-time winner last season, has already won in Sacramento. He will go tonight just before US world medalist Devon Ryan. Shane Sweetnam and Alejandro. Shane, who recently picked up a 4th place finish in the Global Champions Grand Prix of New York. Daniel Blumen, Israeli Championship rider, and Gemma W, 2-time winner of the Hampton Classic Grand Prix. Daniel Blumen goes towards the end of the draw. Also got Canadian Olympian Mario Deslauriers. We've got Sam Walker. Sam, a winner in the past of the major equitation final, the Maclay. Brian Mowbray. Brian, who again has been a graduate of those equitation finals, as is Grace Debney. Bert Manley, former winner here in Washington, goes towards the end of the draw. Jimmy Tarano, and last to go, Kent Farrington. Kent, a former Washington equitation winner, amongst so much else. I'm John Kyle. Alongside me tonight is Kim Prince to chat about our competition here, which is a jump-off format, and it's $75,000. Kim, for a start, we're talking about much bigger money than we usually are when we join up together at Washington, because we've gone 5-star this year.
Yeah, so exciting to have a 5-star here. And this looks like a great list of horses and riders.
Well, Rowan Willis and Blue Movie themselves just outside the individual top 10 at the World Championships in 2018. Rowan has won major 5-star Grand Prix here in North America, including the Nations Cup 5-star Grand Prix down in Ocala, Florida a few seasons ago. And he'll be a very, very good one to set the standard for us. Bernardo Costa Cabral, Bernardo, who will be designing the World Cup Finals course this year in Omaha, is our designer here. This is, the show comes to the Prince George Equestrian Center here in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, just outside the nation's capital. So it's quite a different arena. It's in a way, I think it's shorter end to end, but a little bit wider for the course designer to work on.
Yes, I think that the shape is much easier because it was basically just up and down the ring at the other place. So I think we have a lot more choices. Boy, that oxer off the turn is so big. Blue Movie jumped it like it was nothing, but that is really stuck right off the turn past the gate.
There's not much left on the table here for Bernardo. There's meter 55. Of course, he can play with the technicality of the course as well, but he can't leave too much on the table. As Kim said, the quality of the horses and riders we have here, and when you look at it, mare the quality of Blue Movie, already on 8 faults, 12 now with the experience, Prince George's County. He's having to really hold it back. Rowan always has his horses really fighting for him. They go, go, go through the hand.
Yeah, she's a goer, that's for sure.
So 60.03, that will be interesting for the other riders to see, because 65 seconds the time allowed. There's the very first rail they had down at the Mars Equestrian Feds. Well, we're talking about those equitation graduates. Here is another Maclay medal winner who's gone on to be an Olympic medalist for the United States of America. Silver medal with the US team in Tokyo. Jessica Springsteen, 3 times a 5-star Grand Prix winner, including on the Global Champions Tour when she took victory in Saint-Tropez a couple of seasons ago. This is Jessica with Hungry Heart, by a sire well named for the state of Maryland, Baltimore.
It's great to have Jessie here. She's always been such a good rider. I did all the equitation, the hunters, the junior jumpers, and now at the top of the sport. So it's great to have her here.
Jessica has been on the podium in this World Cup at Washington before now as well. It's exciting, the whole US Tokyo team riding here amongst the just under 30 riders, but it really does show how much they want to support a show in, or as good as in, the nation's capital.
Exactly. Well, this horse is really jumping. And like Rowan's horse, this horse is covering the ground, lands going. So she shouldn't have a problem with the time. Oh, front rail of the double oxers.
Be interesting. I think the other riders, you know, if Jessie was 4th or 5th to go, maybe outside the first 3, she might have just taken herself half a stride further away from that Longines fence. But at the moment, you know, having seen Rowan's very fast mare go around in 60 seconds. Here's Hungry Heart going around in 62. I think the riders will know if I can do a leave out somewhere, I can just give myself a little bit more room, because this fence, you see those grey centered rails, and as well as that, Kim, I think pushing away from the in gate makes a big difference to the energy.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is a well-designed course, you can see already.
So 4 faults it was for Jessica Springsteen. That's our best so far. As we go to Eilish Cunniff. Eilish, who's been on a couple of Nations Cup teams this year.
25-year-old
twice a team gold medalist at Young Riders. She jumped World Cup last year here at Washington, also at the National Horse Show in Kentucky, and the new venue at Fort Worth in Texas. As I say, this year, Nations Cups for the USA at Thunderbird in Canada and also at Jalapa in Mexico.
Yeah, it really spreads out where people have to pick and choose where to go to get their classes in. I think it's so fun to watch jumping indoors after so much outdoor season, because the horses are so close and you can really like see exactly how high they jump, and they just barely touch the jump, it comes down. It's fun to be indoors.
And just some of that is to do with the size of the ring. The material that the designers bring in is shorter.
Light. Yeah, it's very light.
Each pole is shorter and thus lighter. Eilish is riding a fantastic plan here. You can see her landing and executing a plan sometimes. And again, she felt the need to move up in there, and it was the right decision for her and her horse Vivaldi.
Yeah, all 3 horses have rubbed that jump. Jesse's didn't have it down, but that jump, it looks like it's going to be a bogey. With that water tray on the backside. Oh, good for her. Super round.
So 4 faults in 62.15. We're being told second at the moment. Until we have a clear, actually, we would be jumping off the 4 faulters. It's rare, but it's not impossible that we could have a jump off of 4s. But I think, looking at who we have to come, we should be looking at a clearer 2 yet. Especially when you look at the likes of this combination. This combination won the Nations Cup Grand Prix of America a couple of years ago at Deer Ridge Farms in Wellington, Florida. Paul O'Shea, Paul, who's a big part of the Irish Nations Cup squad over the last few seasons as well. This year he was top 10 in the Grand Prix at Dublin and top 10 in the Spruce Meadows Masters with this horse, Emerald. Emerald van Voorhoff by Emerald for Paul O'Shea, the first of a couple we have for Ireland here in Washington.
It's fun to see Paul at the shows. You know, he'll ride around bareback. He's such a person who gets to know his horses inside and out. It's really fun to watch his different ways of doing so. Spends a lot of time with his horses.
And I think it pays him back as well, because you think about, Emerald winning. It was 2019 when he won that 5-star Grand Prix. That's coming up on 3 years ago now. Yeah. Machu Picchu has been a good horse for him for 4 or 5 years as well. And it's not just the horses that stay with him, it's the owner groups as well. Like Paul has very, very loyal owners.
Yes. And we would be nowhere without our owners. So we really, as riders, appreciate great sponsors.
At this stage, I mean, he's number 4 to go, Kim. It must feel a little bit like the pressure's off. They must have wondered initially, was the time quite tight? And now they must be feeling it's very achievable.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell the whole tone is a little bit different. Oh, again, rubbed it, but it didn't come down.
The curved end at the ring as well there can just fake them out a little bit on their turn and approach, but there's no fake there for Paul O'Shea as he's clear round number 1.
The horse really jumped a proper round. See how soft he was in that combination with his hands. What a beautiful ride.
Next rider up in a successful week last week in Harrisburg with the Pennsylvania National.
I have to say, this young lady yet to reach her 30s and yet is a 5-time World Cup finalist for the United States of America. Katie Dinan. Katie, who's been runner-up in the World Cup qualifier here previously. Tonight she rides Etique des Hautes-Vents by Rock and Roll Semi. Katie was on the podium this year at the Hampton Classic Horse Show, which itself also stepped up to 5-star this year.
Yes, on their new sand. Yes.
Katie actually rode this horse in the Derby class at Dinard in France. They finished top 5 in that class, so certainly brave.
And so is Katie. Those derbies are something else in Europe. Got a rub there, but got away with it. You can see she really has a great forward gallop going for the first distance off the turn. Really suits this horse.
Just gave the A element of the Longines a little touch, but she's the cleanest out over that water tray.
Yes. Oh, good for her.
Straight away, and only just over 60 seconds as well. Katie Dinan and Etique des Hautes-Vents guarantee us a jump off. Look at that smile. And she has the potential to be very, very fast as well.
Yeah, she was so quick just in this first round. Boy, he jumped in and really had to back off the front rail. It's such a good job.
Well, Natalie Dean. Natalie was on the podium already this season in World Cup action with this horse, Chance Saint-Hermel. They took 3rd at Sacramento, so they're on a good handful of points already on the North American League of Longines FEI Jumping World Cup.
With 2 team silver medals, an individual and team bronze at the North American Youth Championships. She was a team gold medalist at the World Youth Championships as well. And she rides the entry Chance Saint-Hermel. They were 3rd at the first World Cup qualifier of the season in Sacramento, California. Natalie Dean.
Natalie's been a real graduate of those North American Youth Championships, but as well as that traveling team of Youth Nations Cup riders under Anne Kaczynski, and I think Anne's program with those young riders, you know, we see the graduates. I mean, Natalie was on a winning team at those Young Rider Nations Cup finals a couple of years ago with Brian Mowgray. Brian was, you know, jumping at the World Championships this year.
Yeah, so that it is a great program that Anne Krasinski and Diane Langer.
Diane Langer, yeah.
They just do a great job. I went last year with Virginia Bonney. It was so great for the kids to compete and have the other countries. It was really something. I think it's really going to help our program. Natalie looks very comfortable out here.
She did a good job of just getting the horse to focus in on where they were going, because it is so easy to pick up the delta fence number 1 again.
Yeah, they get their eye right on it, and the riders kind of let them to give themselves more space. And now we're on a roll.
We certainly are, and it's another one of our young riders. Katie Dinan might actually be quite pleased to be classed as a young rider. I'm always so amazed at how young Katie is, having been to 5 World Cup finals. But Natalie and Chance Saint-Hermel, they show exactly why they were the ones. When you looked at the start list in Sacramento, and we all did, we were at a show at Lexington, Kentucky. Bernardo Costa Cabral was with us, and he said, Connor Swell, Natalie Dean, they're going to end up, and they were 1st and 3rd.
Just 26 years old. He's been to 2 World Equestrian Games, 3 World Cup finals.
Again, a rider who you wouldn't necessarily remember is still one of the younger riders in our sport. He has been to so many major championships for one of the top jumping nations in the world, Belgium. This is Jos Verlooy. Jos, who's won 5-star at Ascona. He's won the Rotterdam Nations Cup Grand Prix, and he's been a medalist at championship level for Belgium. Jos and Igor, his horse for this summer's World Championships at Herning in Denmark. And like Emerald van Voorhoff that we saw earlier on for Paul O'Shea, this one is by Emerald.
And has the first jump down, never great to start like that.
It's interesting. So, were you watching his preparation? I was sort of deep in my notes and stuff, but it looked like he came in off a shorter approach than a lot of others.
Exactly. He and maybe that's how he does it with this horse every time. But it looked the horse definitely looked a little bit surprised at number 1.
Jos is actually. Come here, listen to me.
Yes, how about we lift our front end?
Jos has come over a few times for this run of World Cup shows, because at the moment, quite easily you can do Washington, the National in Kentucky, and then the Toronto Royal. It's maybe then a little bit of an effort to go on from there to the Las Vegas National, but there's actually 4 weeks of World Cup in a row here, and we've had a lot of European riders come over and do certainly these 3, and it helps them an awful lot, because Jos, he has a home World Cup show in Mechelen, but actually if he can pick up some World Cup points here, he gets higher up the invitation structure for those Western European League World Cup shows, so he could go to 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, so competitive to get in those shows.
So it is just the first down, unfortunately, but he just tried out the gears once or twice else on the round, so it looks like it's just sort of slightly a bedding in round once they had that first down, and they could be in good shape for certainly Saturday night's big class. Daniel Coyle's our next to go. Daniel, who has been a previous World Cup qualifier winner at Thunderbird in Langley, British Columbia, Deer Ridge in Wellington, Florida, and Live Oak in Ocala, Florida. He has won a 5-star Nations Cup Grand Prix here in the Americas, and this year was the winner of the Rotterdam Nations Cup Grand Prix in Europe. Daniel rides Legacy tonight for himself and Ariel Grange.
You see them all have to ride up that first line. They jump number 2 nice and careful, and then everybody has to get up to the 3rd jump. He's a little bit of a different way. You know, he lands and lets the horse kind of put his head down away from the jump. But then you see him gather him right back up just as he approaches.
Very talented rider, one of the world's top 50 at the moment. Had a good result in the Nations Cup Grand Prix of Ireland as well at Dublin. And he's going to be clear here. Daniel Coyle goes through for Ireland. So it's 2 for the USA, 2 for Ireland so far amongst our 4 qualified for the jump off here tonight in Washington.
Well, we move to the next rider who is part of the Olympic efforts. Team silver medalist in Tokyo. Here's Laura Kraut.
Winner here in 2019 of the World Cup qualifier, Laura Kraut. Laura with St. Bride's Farm Confu. Laura, who's been an Olympic gold medalist with the US team in 2008, been a world gold medalist with the US team at the championships in 2018.
29 podium placings in its career with 4 victories. Laura Kraut for the USA.
He was all surprised that we were actually going to a jump also, but she woke him up just in time. Her timing is always so good.
You made a noise, and if you come down heavy on those back rails, you can be in trouble. You might have just seen, and you can see here the red cups on the back. That means that they're spring-loaded to break away under downward pressure.
And St. Bride's Farm is not so far away from here in Virginia, and I know that they are here watching.
Absolutely, and I think that made the win of the Washington qualifier all the more special back in 2019.
Yes.
Confu was a horse at Dublin this year. She was double clear in the Nations Cup at Dublin. And she is clear here tonight. Clear round number 5 goes to former winner Laura Kraut and Con Fu.
Oh, he really jumped super.
So just on clipping her air vest there. More and more of the top riders wearing these air vests now.
Yeah, it's optional, but I'm surprised more people actually don't wear air vests.
So he's been Olympic champion, world champion, and 3 times the World Cup Finals winner. Rodrigo Pessoa with us tonight with Artemis Equestrian's Major Tom for Brazil.
It's so hard to know what to say that Rodrigo won, because doesn't he win everything?
Pretty much, and you know, like most years as well, he's probably got 4, 5 top horses on the go, 2 of which kind of concentrate on Europe, 2 of which concentrate on the North American circuit. He'll bring them all together, of course, for the Wellington
yes.
winter spring circuit, but you know, his summers are very, very busy, going back and forward, riding on Nations Cup teams, riding at the major 5 stars in Europe.
Boy, he walked that 3. They're jumping that off the end of the ring so well.
Yeah.
But like we said, these are such exceptional riders, and they all came prepared to win.
So we were saying so much earlier on how this fence, and it does go for Rodrigo, unfortunately, had been the focus of problems. Sometimes you get a fence that becomes a real focus for a while, and then the focus just shifts somewhere else.
It is interesting how that happens, and you're like, that's for sure the bogey, and then it's not. But it did catch Rodrigo tonight.
So 4 faults in 64.48. Those who don't come back for the jump off, it's faults and time in the initial round gives them their ranking. So Rodrigo goes into 9th place at the moment. Jessica Springsteen has the fastest 4 faulter, sitting in 6th place so far. So Conor Swale, the Sacramento winner already. He ended up winning the Nations Cup for Ireland, the Aggie Khan in Dublin, in the jump-off with this horse, Count Me In. Ended up 2nd in the Grand Prix as well, the highest-ranked Irish rider in the Grand Prix at Dublin this year.
Is there anything more fun than that, to be the highest Irish rider in Dublin?
To win it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
We gave Alan Wade a bit of stick. We'd done very well with Ireland winning pretty much every class. And I saw him afterwards. Why did you give the Grand Prix away to Switzerland? But Conor's on an amazing run. He won 3 World Cup qualifiers last season. He's the world number 5 ranked rider at the moment.
Yeah, he's exceptional. Well, that was the first time we've had the Buckeye jump come down.
I think actually that's probably the first time I've picked up the sense of the fact that they have to kind of get around the end of the triple bar to find their way to that water tray as well.
Exactly. And like you said, they sight in on number 1.
So 4 faults, it's the fastest 4 faulter. Having talked about that a minute ago, he is half a second faster than Jessica Springsteen, so takes over 6th place. Here is the Buckeye Dan. Buckeye, part of the Mars Equestrian family of brands, our supporting sponsors at the Washington International Horse Show. Well, this combination have been on the podium at the World Cup Finals before. Their first World Cup qualifier win came a couple of seasons ago at the American Gold Cup. Devon who was on the gold medal winning team for the US at the World Championships in 2018. Devon Ryan and Eddie Blue.
Eddie Blue with 6 wins, 23 podium placings during their career together. Here's for the US, Devon Ryan and his mount, Eddie Blue.
Devon and Eddie this year, third at Upperville, second at Greenwich, and third in the 5-star Grand Prix at the Hampton Classic.
Oh yeah, Eddie always steps up. He's just a cool horse.
Again, you get a real sense of the riders adjusting the pace, adjusting their ride, because he really held Eddie off number 2 and landed and moved up then to the Mars fence.
Yeah, and Devon obviously knows Eddie inside and out, having him for years and years. And these two know each other inside and out for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, he won the American Gold Cup as an 8-year-old horse, went to the World Cup finals, finished second as a 9-year-old. Eddie Blue is still only 13.
I know, and you think he's much older, actually, because it's been Ryan's best horse for so long. Well, that was an unusual rail, having the back rail of the double oxers.
It's another one on just the 4, 63.15 for Devon, goes top 10 as things currently stand.
And you'll see the rail coming here out of this combination. You know, it's a bit skinny, so I think he just misjudged it.
So another nice great. This is Alejandro and Shane Sweetnam. Top 5 in both the Global Champions Miami and New York Grand Prix this year for US-based Irishman Shane. Shane actually qualified through to the Super Grand Prix of the Global Champions. Has elected not to take up his place in Prague in a couple of weeks' time to concentrate on his jumping here in the US. And he, alongside Alejandro, his Tokyo Olympic partner, also has probably the most exciting horse in the sport at the moment in James Kahn Cruz, his American Gold Cup winner.
Oh, yeah, he's got some great horses right now.
Gone. It's the same a little bit as Rowan Willis, our very first to go.
And he hit that one hard behind, but it stayed up. You normally don't have such luck on these light materials. It's great for all the young riders watching these top riders. You can really see when they have to help the horse, a little leg, a little lift. Every little thing they do makes such a difference.
So Shane also comes home with just the single rail 4 faults. You say very lucky they're going through the lamp standards.
Yeah.
Aaron Vale is our next to go. Aaron, who's a 5-time Puissance winner here at the Washington International Horse Show, has also taken the World Cup twice over. Thinks like a horse in the ownership of this one. Elusive for Aaron. Top 10 in the 5-star Grand Prix at Saugerties in September. Aaron also had a runner-up in a 3-star Grand Prix recently at the Kentucky Horse Park on the Split Rock Jumping Tour.
It is interesting watching the approach to number 1 that people take. That's also the other problem with indoors is you kind of get landlocked.
Yeah.
You can't get around the jumps to get the approach that you really want. They're jumping that combination so well. It's short inside, but all the horses are really pushing off and jumping. Right into that. You can see something's bothering his right ear, and I know it seems ridiculous, but when it's taking his focus, the horse's focus away a bit.
Well, just a shame the horse ended up jumping at rather than over the top of that Buckeye fence. Aaron Vale and Elusive 4 in 62.66.
Yeah, that was super unusual. He jumped straight into it. He needs that earplug out of his right ear.
So a little bit of time since we've seen it clear, but we waited for the first one and then suddenly got 5.
Yeah.
Paul O'Shea, Katie Diner, Natalie Dean, Daniel Coyle, Laura Kreitz so far. As we go to Evan Coluccio, Evan with Hampton Green Farms, Valdez Z by Vigo D'Arsui. Evan, who jumped the 5-star tour at the Hamptons this year, picked up an international Grand Prix victory at Weka Kala. Jumped the 2-star tour at Global's Miami this spring as well.
This is a very large horse. I've been next to him thinking, my goodness, it's a big horse. Evan's just collecting a nice group of horses now, riding for the Lignelli family, and he's getting in the ring more and more.
Yeah, we were mentioning earlier on, Kim, how important those owners are, and especially, you know, you take Laura and St. Bride's Farm, what a long relationship that has been for them.
Yeah. He's really jumping a proper round here. Good ride by Evan.
Watching the time, though, just into time, unfortunately. 66.44 will be clear for jumping, but 2 for time for Evan Coluccio and Valdez. They've had a fantastic season together, but unfortunately it won't be quite through to the jump-off tonight, locked out by those 2 time penalties. Mark Blumen is our next to go with Noortje van der Windheuvel. Mark, who is the 2-star Grand Prix winner at Greenwich, Connecticut just recently, and was a top 5 finisher in the Sapphire Grand Prix this year at Devon in Pennsylvania. Well, they're in trouble at the first because they got right into the roots of it.
Hey, a little bit sticky off the ground, but now back to jumping light off the ground again. I would have to agree. It's funny he made such a production of showing the horse the final combination. Again, just a little bit at that front rail. away from the gate. He wanted to make sure he got up to it, and it just touched it. You could barely hear it.
Just left a toe on a little bit the same as Jessica Springsteen at the beginning of the
Yes.
draw.
Exactly.
So 4 faults for Mark Blumen and Nurtje there.
You can see he's disappointed in himself. That was super sticky at number 1, and a little bit long, and the horse was a bit surprised, but horse jumped such a good round.
Well, we'll move back to the U.S. and here from Kansas is Hunter Holloway.
Hunter Holloway is our next to go. This is Pepita Conspita. They were 5-star Grand Prix winners together this year at Saugerties. Hunter, a Nations Cup rider at Thunderbird this year. And a career winner of the Maclay Medal.
11 international wins for this combination, including the World Cup qualifier last fall in Las Vegas.
Won the Maclay the same year as the Washington, having been twice on the podium in the Washington Equitation Finals before as well. Hunter, World Cup qualifier winner last season in Las Vegas.
She's always so fun to have in the jump off because she and this horse go so fast. Oh, that was a good ride. That horse was fighting her, but she hung in there. Got it done. Excellent. And quick.
As we say, a good one to have in that jump off for Pepita Conspita and Hunter Holloway. World Cup qualifier winners last season and 5-star Grand Prix winners in recent months here in North America. Make their mark on our welcome competition. A $75,000 prize fund welcome stakes here. And this will very much set the scene for the Meter 60 World Cup qualifier on Saturday night here from Washington. Mario Delorier is our next to go. Mario, with his own in Wishing Well Farms, Bardolina. Olympian in Tokyo, his second Olympics, having represented his country in Seoul before that. He's the youngest ever World Cup finals winner when he took victory in 1984. And he's ridden 11 further World Cup finals.
And don't forget, he was 4th in the Olympics with Aramis, losing in the jump off, and Mario was only 18 years old.
Mario is listed for the World's team once again for Canada this year, having been on some of their major Nations Cup teams, including at home in Langley, British Columbia, and also at the Spruce Meadows Masters Nations Cup.
Yeah, he's so experienced. Such a good rider to watch. Eyes are always looking at the next jump. Oh, just jumped right into the back rail of that. That wasn't a light rub. That was a lasting one.
So Mario Delorier and Bardolina, 4 faults, 62.97 for Mario, who was top 10 this year at the Hampton Classic Horse Show, a horse show that his family are very closely involved with. He's been a former winner of the Grand Prix there as well.
that was too bad, but I think his sights will be on the rest of this week as well.
Daniel Blumen, Daniel and Gemma W. Gemma was his winner of the Hampton Classic Horse Show in 2021, his second victory there, and runner-up in the 5-star Grand Prix at the Hamptons this year. Two-time Olympian for Colombia before declaring a few seasons ago for Israel, and he helped Israel qualify a full team through to the Tokyo Olympic Games.
This horse jumps in such an explosive and beautiful style. He's done a good job of getting a group of horses and climbing the ranks of the world ranking list.
His cousin Mark, of course, we saw jump a short while ago for a single rail down. Mark Blumen is our fastest four-faulter, holding 8th place at the moment.
I think that was our first rub-free round, honestly. That was gorgeous.
Always been one of the very best. He has won so many prestigious 5-star Grand Prix, the Nations Cup Grand Prix of Rome at Piazza di Siena, some of the $500,000 at the series conclusion of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Daniel Blumen makes it look easy here tonight, and plenty have proven that it is far from easy.
It is far from easy, that's the truth.
Clear round number 7. Maclay and Washington Equitation winner in the past, Canada's Sam Walker. Sam, who's jumping a lot of major 5-stars now. He actually still was eligible to go to the Youth Nations Cup finals this year when he won the Challenge Cup, the Grand Prix there.
And rubbed off that yellow and white vertical. And the in as well. It looks like he's just getting his feet wet indoor season. A little bit at the jumps. Oh, and a nice, confident finish. He'll learn from that round.
Yeah, it's a relatively new partnership for Sam there with Enzo. Kyle King's horse normally, and up until September when they were jumping at T-Bird, Calgary and Traverse City together with Kyle. So Sam Walker in the irons now with Enzo. It's 12 faults tonight, but a very, very positive and effective rider. We'll see how quickly he's able to mesh with that horse and deliver the big results. The WEF 12 finale Grand Prix winner a couple of seasons ago, US Olympian, top 10 this year in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of New York City. Margie Goldstein-Engel, Margie and Dikas.
Well, light rub at 1, but it stayed up. Speaking of somebody who knows their horse inside and out. It's like putting on that comfortable pair of slippers.
Margie had a really good World Cup last year as well. Picked up some good results. She was top 5 at Fort Worth, having been top 10 at Kentucky next week and top 10 here in Washington. Last year the Washington Horse Show held at Tryon, North Carolina, so it was outdoors for once.
Yeah, he looks like he's really at home in here. Great clean round.
Whilst Margie is not very big, Decas is exactly as enormous as he looks. So to have jumped clear inside this small ring really is a great achievement. It just shows how adjustable and rideable he makes himself for Margie. And they become clear round number 8. A rider who is already in his young career won the World Cup qualifiers at the National Horse Show in Lexington, Kentucky and at Live Oak. He won the Live Oak one within 2 months of being allowed to ride at the World Cup qualifier level when he turned 18. And he went to the World Championships this year for the USA with Balou de Reventon. This is MTM Vive le Rêve for Brian Mowgray for the USA. And this has been a tremendous horse for him since he turned senior really in the sport.
Kind of just jumped a little bit into number 2 and had it down. But he's certainly flying now. You could see Brian trying to get him back, but the horse was just a little bit through the bit and took out the Liverpool as well.
One of the things about coming indoors is, you know, especially if you didn't ride at Sacramento, this is your first time indoors, you can almost have forgotten since this time last year, what do I need to do in the warm-up? And of course here, the warm-up,
is actually
in
outside.
And you're under lights there, then you're maybe walking through much less light to get to the ring, you're coming back in. Each show then has those little peculiarities about how you need to prepare and train to deliver your best indoors.
That's a very good point. There's no schooling area down here by the in-gate, so you have a long walk from when you finish and going down the spooky ramp.
Dijon Terdun and Bert Mandley next to go. Bert, a 3-time Olympian, having ridden once again at Tokyo. Bert Mandley was the World Cup Finals winner in Las Vegas a few seasons ago and has been the former winner of this Washington leg of the World Cup Series as well. Bert always very smooth. He's one of those, you know, if you follow the sort of the NASCAR or the race car idiom of smooth is fast.
Yeah.
Bert never looks as fast as he ends up being on the clock.
He's got a very just forward way about him. The way he uses his eyes. Doesn't waste any time on the ends of the ring. I'm such a tall man, but never in the way of the horse, a bit like Ian Miller. So they fold themselves up.
Again, look at that time, 61.61. He didn't look like he was going that fast at all, but he is clear round number 9, Bert Mandley and Dijon Terdun. You think back to him going so well here with those pair of horses, Zari and Jabacha, over the last few years. Dijon Terdun now goes clear on night one of the show. Rider who represented Great Britain this year at the European Young Rider Championships, part of the bronze medal winning team. Grace Debney. Grace is based here in the US with Agadans van Gelut. And again, another equitation rider. 21 USEF medal finals winner and the North American equitation finals winner that same season. 2 of the big 5.
Such a talented young rider. I'm only sad that she doesn't ride for the United States, but she is great sport and fun to watch. Got a big career ahead of her. Picked off the front rail of number 3.
I was going to say it about these orange rails, but the Mars rails, again, are also solid colored. The stripes really, really help horses read the rails, so those solid ones are much more difficult.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when there's a water tray under them,
yeah.
Little things like that. Grace has been building her string this year. She's got some great horses. Next year, when she knows them better, she'll really come out great guns. And what I like is that even though it might not be going exactly how she's planning it today, she's composed and organized and finishing properly. You know, she's not at all given up.
So faults and time faults there for a total of 23 for Grace Debney and Agadance.
Just 18 years of age, Grace Debney of Great.
We had youth to the fore last year as well on the podium in Washington, so don't rule out the likes of Natalie Dean or Grace Debney, some of our other young riders here over the course of the weekend in Washington. Just 3 more to go in the first round, as we go to Jordan Coyle and Centric Ovolo. Jordan, a career winner of the Upperville Grand Prix in Virginia. He's been a World Cup qualifier winner. He's been an Irish Nations Cup rider.
We could reset 9 beat, please.
I just want to make sure they got all the jumps up and put in the standards as they were, so everyone has the same shot.
Already seen Jordan's brother Daniel jump clear. Jordan, who's based for a long time in upstate New York, near Old Salem. I always quite wonder if I've got my nomenclature right there, because it's only an hour north of Manhattan, whereas you can drive for about 6 hours and still be in New York. That feels to me like it's upstate.
Right. Funny, 2 in a row, and I've had that jump down that I thought would come down more right off the turn. Jordan has such a distinct style, but you see in front of the jump, he's always soft. He has his own way, but it's really magic.
Oh, I mean, the name of the horse won't come to me, but his Upperville Grand Prix winner was in a hackamore.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to go that fast, to have the steering, to get the inside lines in a hackamore, a bitless bridle. So 61.42, 4 faults for Jordan Coyle and Centric Ovolo, coming in down there in the corner of the ring at number 5. So still 9 coming back for the jump off here in our $75,000 welcome.
First of 2 left to go in round number 1. Here is the rider Kent Barrington, world rank number 17 on the Longines World Rankings. He is 42-year-old rider, team silver medalist, individually finished 5th.
So Kent Farrington, Kent with a great relationship with this show, twice the World Cup qualifier winner here and a career winner of the Washington Equitation Finals. US Olympic medalist, world medalist, and winner of so many of the major five-star Grand Prix all around the world. Kent with Landon for Hazy McNerney. Kent was a winner last year on the Winter World Cup circuit with victory with Gazelle in the National Horse Show World Cup qualifier in Lexington, Kentucky.
This horse and Kent are like such a perfect match in size for each other. Really impeccable round so far. Oh, I totally jinxed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kent. I promise I won't say anything the rest of the week.
So 9 for the jump off with one more remaining in this initial round. Just sneaks inside the time, 64.29 against the 65 seconds time allowed. Kent Farrington and Landon with 4 faults here in the first round. Kent, who is the Nations Cup Grand Prix winner this year, of Thunderbird in British Columbia. Again, as against so much else, you just could pick out result after result after result for a rider with a career like Kent's. One of Kent's victories in the past was in the Central Park Horse Show Grand Prix, and this man also has taken victory in that show. Jimmy Toronto, Jimmy with Isalu and Jet Equestrian Group's Chewbacca HCC. Jimmy has been a World Cup finalist for the United States of America and is consistently well placed also in the hunter divisions.
Yeah, the accolades in the hunter division are long. He's one of the few riders that still really can win in either ring.
It's actually the fun thing when you're watching social media coming in from Wellington in the spring is, you know, Shane Sweeten, Rodrigo Pessoa, Jimmy Toronto. It's more about their kids riding than anything they're doing in the Grand Prix ring.
It is.
I think McLean's daughter was at pony finals when he was at Herning, and I think that was the most stressful part of being at the World Championships.
Oh, and she was so little. She did so well. There's a great group of kids coming up, I'll tell you. JJ Toronto, man, he's on fire in every ring also. He rides the jumpers now and great on the ponies.
Just see Bert Manley there in the gate getting his head around some of the turns and lines. For the jump off is Jimmy Toronto going to be clear on number 10. Oof.
He's a little bit slow. What a shame.
They called it. There's time penalties as well. 4 for jumping, 2 for time for Chewbacca and Jimmy Toronto, so putting him on a total of 6, meaning 9 come back for the jump off here this evening in the $75,000 welcome stake.
See up on the board the names that will feature Paul O'Shea of Ireland, Katie Diamond of the USA, Andy Dean electing not to jump off, Ireland's Daniel Coyle, USA's Laura Crouch, Hunter Holloway, Daniel Blumen, also not jumping off Margie Engel, but we will see Bert Manley as the last to go in there for Switzerland. So very strong lineup.
So Paul O'Shea is going to be our first back. Katie Dinan. Natalie Dean is electing not to come back, we understand. Daniel Coyle, Laura Crouch, former winner here. Hunter Holloway, Pepita Conchpita, the 5-star Grand Prix winners at... oh, no, there's more clear rounds that. I don't know why she's showing us 2. Daniel Blumen, Margie Goldstein-Engel and Bert Manley. As I say, Margie, we also understand, isn't going to come back. So we will see 7 of the 9 who qualified. to jump off for our $75,000 welcome.
Happy 11th birthday. Thank you for joining us and celebrating your special day here at the Washington International. And now for a word from some of our many sponsors.
So the team here in Washington are going to set up the short course, and we will be back to the action very, very shortly. Don't go too far away.
Well, again, we'd like to wish Penelope Chandler a very happy 11th birthday from all of us here at the Washington International and all those that are here with her from Great Escape Stables. Miss Barnett, make a little bit of noise out there. We need to hear, you know, there's a spirit contest and we need to see which barns have the most spirit. So, again, if you're here in the barns for barn night, let's see how loud you can get. Are you having fun here at Washington?
Let's try and rattle the roof. Are you ready after 3? 1, 2, 3, go! Fantastic, fantastic.
Well, I think they can do a little bit better. We need to hear you over that tractor, so one more time. Are you having fun tonight?
That's the one we wanted there. The Tamarack Stables up on the board, but whose names will be up there later on? We will let you know who's going to win all those prizes, but make sure you keep making noise throughout the night. Huge thank you to, of course, our sponsors throughout the week. We wouldn't be able to put on the event without them. And starting off with Longines, of course, our presenting sponsor of the Longines FEI World Cup Series. Their passion for equestrian world dates back to 1869. The brand involved in the most important equestrian events all around the world. The Longines FEI Jumping World Cup this week, the perfect opportunity for Longines to present the new Dolce Vita line. Swiss designer Van Rieckmuth has given the famously rectangular timepiece a new identity, with sophisticated leather straps referencing the equestrian world so dear to Longines, and their design is evocative of bridles and harness. Wonderful timepieces, and of course we're also headed off to another name that's dear to our hearts, and that's Mars Equestrian. Mars, a huge thanks. Their sponsorship division is the link between Mars iconic brands and the equestrian community, and of course our presenting sponsor here this week. Well, because of that great stage, we can bring you some top-class sport, and what's coming up is the jump-off for this $75,000 class. What's the course? Well, we start over at 9A this time, and we'll rebuild that one in just a second. So we're starting over the Longines fence, this time coming up the arena as the first away. For there it is down to 10, that's in front of us, the Prince George's experience fence at the next. And from there, it's going to be a rollback from that point to 11A and B, the Silver Birch. So the double at 11A and 11B. Across the centre of the arena, you can see the high up vertical of the blue and white at what now is fence 13. Across the side of the arena to the lamp lights at fence 14. And finally, up to the fence they're building right now. That's the Longines fence as the last on course. That's what's in store, an exciting lineup. They've got Ireland, USA in there, we've got Israel in there, and Switzerland, all looking to raise their flag for the winner of this class. Who will it be? We'll wait and see. Who's cheering for Ireland? There's a few. Who's cheering for Switzerland? Oh, there's a few of those. Let's try the home nation. Who's cheering USA?
Welcome back. Just a few moments away from the start of the $75,000 welcome stake jump-off. We had 9 qualify. We're going to have 7 come back. Natalie Dean and Margie Goldstein-Engel electing not to come back. But we have in there 2 former winners of the Washington World Cup in Laura Cricht and Beat Manley. We have Paul O'Shea and Daniel Coyle for Ireland. We have Katie Dinan, Hunter Holloway, and Daniel Blumen as well, giving us plenty of different nations represented. The track set by Bernardo Costa Cabral and his team's going to start out over the double, going away from the in-gate at number 9. Then up to number 10, the experienced Prince George's fence, 11AB, which was the final double on course. Then new fence 13, which is what was the triple bar across the middle of the ring. Then we go over to what was number 6. We jump it backwards and we finish over number 4 going down to the in-gate. There's what was the triple bar. So that's Paul O'Shea just taking a look at that, just getting a sense now from atop his horse exactly what the lines look like now that various materials have been taken away, leaving some of the turns open. And we'll see what Paul O'Shea and Emerald van Voorhoff, 5-star Nations Cup Grand Prix winners as a pair, and top 10 this year in the Spruce Meadows Masters 5-star 2-round Grand Prix, what they can do here against the clock. Looking for a clear, of course, but also looking to see how fast they can be. So starting out over one of these Longines fences with the grey middle to the pole, up to the experienced Prince George's fence. Experienced Prince George's are presenting sponsors of the World Cup on Saturday night. It's that double. He's looking for his line here now to this, what is now a big vertical, Kim.
Oh, and it's rolling, but it stayed up.
Over the laps, 1 to go. Ah!
He had that back rail. It's skinny, but he had the back rail.
So 4 faults, 27.67 with Paul O'Shea and Emerald van Voorhoff. I think that'll still be quite a good reference time because he didn't have the pole until very late in his round. So that is going to be the sort of time that probably will take victory here tonight. But victory, looking at the field of horses and riders we have, victory's surely going to go the way of a double clear.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is the fast horse, so we'll see what can Katie pull off. Put the pressure on.
Well, she is in this jump off alongside her coach, a long-time coach, Bert Manley, who goes last. But they'll have shared the plan, Katie Dine and Etika de Zuidvon.
Yeah, just let it loose, Katie. She's already going fast. Oh, that took a hard rub.
Whatever way this horse's action is, he always just is raising this a bit of the surface. No, 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 come on.
Oh, great job. Wow, he was like, what? And she just stuck in there. Oh, super, super, super. Definitely lost a little time when they were both at the standstill, but what a great job to hop over that vertical on the angle like that.
So Katie Dinan gives us our first double clear. It is some 3 seconds slower than Paul O'Shea, but he had the rail. So she is the one to beat at the moment, but we know time-wise it's beatable, and she left a little bit out there on the field, you would say, trying to get to that, what was the triple bar, now a big $1.55 maximum vertical. So no Natalie Dean in the jump-off. We go straight to Daniel Coyle and Legacy, the next for Ireland.
Target time to catch, 3080. Split time on the landing side of that blue and white vertical was 20 seconds on our leader Katie Dinan and Etika de Hobart.
Daniel, 5-star Nations Cup Grand Prix this year, winner in Rotterdam. You see again how they just have to shape the line. They can't route direct up to that experienced Prince George's because they've got to get around the blue and white.
To get to it, exactly.
17, 18 seconds on the clock as he jumps that.
Oh, wow, he's really making handy use of this course.
27.42, faster than anyone. He's 0.2 of a second faster even than Paul O'Shea. And that becomes the one to beat now. Daniel Coyle and Legacy clear in 27.42 to lead our $75,000 welcome here in Washington.
This is going to be such a fun class to finish up because all of these riders and horses are quick.
Here's Laura Brown for the USA and
Confu, double clear in the Nations Cup this year at Rome. Double clear in the Nations Cup at Dublin. And top 10 in that Dublin Longines Grand Prix of Ireland.
42 is the target to catch.
Laura, winner here of the World Cup in Washington back in 2019. 20. Oh!
Oh, that stumble will take a little bit of time off for sure.
So a good bit slower there. As we said,
Yeah,
it was
and then
17
she
or
went
18
around.
seconds that Daniel got there. And Laura will have slightly settled in for the double clear rather than pushing when she just had that horse knuckle over.
Yeah, she knew she wasn't going to win with that stumble. So nice round to finish up.
So third place at the moment, Katie Dine in second. Daniel Coyle is in the lead. Laura and St Bride's Farms Kong Fu. St Bride's Farms in the co-ownership of Fleurette, her winner here in 2019 alongside Barb and David Roux. So Hunter Holloway is our next to go. US Nations Cup rider this year. Hunter is actually, as well as being former Washington Equitation winner, she's also been on the podium in the Puissance here at Washington. It's one of the last remaining Puissance competitions in the Americas.
Yeah, there's nowhere to practice but here. You go in it, and then by the next year, you're experienced.
Hunter and Pepita have been five-star Grand Prix winners this year. But it's just a question. It's a little bit like thoroughbred racehorse trainers. It's about planning your campaign to peak at the right moment. And it might be that they don't necessarily want to use all their gas tonight on this jump-off. But the win is there for the taking for a horse and rider combination like this.
Yeah, this is such a quick horse, but I think you're right. She's looking ahead down the week.
So Hunter gives us a double clear, 30.32 seconds. It goes into second place, but there are 3 seconds the difference between Daniel Coyle and Hunter Holloway on the leaderboard here in Washington. Israeli Championship rider Daniel Blumen goes next. Daniel will in fact be the second last rider we see. Gemma W. Gemma gave Daniel his second victory in the Hampton Classic Horse Show Grand Prix. Daniel alongside Kent Farrington, Jimmy Turano, one of the career winners of the Central Park Horse Show Grand Prix in New York City.
Sorstrom's such a brilliant round in the first round. Spun back to that vertical. What a great ride that was.
Time is looking very, very good for the pair.
And just jumped away from that front rail. Came down a little early. What a shame.
Look at it, 27.51. He was right in the mix with Daniel Coyle's 27.42, but the 4 faults, he goes into 5th place behind our 4 double clears.
Yeah, that was a shame. The horse really pushed away from the front rail. Didn't realize till too late that it was an oxer.
So Bert Manley is our last to go in the jump-off. Remember, another international class coming up for you tonight. Approximately 9:15, 9:20 is the start time for the costume accumulator. And we'll see whether Bert Manley or Daniel Coyle, Ireland or Switzerland, will be taking victory in our $75,000 welcome.
Well, as you stated in the first round, Bayat is always fast, even if he doesn't look it. Normally he doesn't just cruise around for second or third place.
Protege Katie Dinan gave us our first double clear. Katie still sitting in her podium place there in 3rd. He's there. This time is good. Just a little bit like Daniel Bloom, and didn't read that fence right at all. So it's going to be victory for Daniel Coyle. And 29-19 with the 4 faults for Bert Manley and Dijon Terdoon. A little bit of a rueful look there from Bert.
Yeah, they turn sharp to that jump. The horse jumps away from the front, and all of a sudden it's a wide, skinny oxer. Good class.
A good class to start what should be a good week of international jumping here at Washington. We've got the Puissance tomorrow night, don't forget, one of 2 international classes. And on Saturday night then, we have the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup of Washington, D.C., presented by Experience Prince George. But Daniel Coyle takes our first international win of the week with Legacy. The best of 4 double clears ahead of Hunter Holloway, Katie Dynan and Laura Kraut. Daniel Blumen and Gemma 5th, Paul O'Shea and Emerald in 6th. And then it was in 7th for Bert Manley. Natalie Dean and Margie Engel will take equal 8th, having not presented in the jump-off, but they did qualify. And Evan Coluccio will round out our top 10 there with the 2 time faults in 66.44 for the Grand Prix winner from Weka Kala this summer. Daniel's brother Jordan, 4 faults in 61, takes 12th. And here you see the rest of us. Connor Swell, count me in. Connor, the Sacramento World Cup winner already this season. Irish Cunniff and Vivaldi de Thiel, Shane Sweetnam, Alejandro. I mean, Bernardo Cabral will be very, very pleased with these stats to see 22 of the 28 or so starters covered by a single rail. Rowan Willis with 3 down. Blue Movie, such a good horse. Sam Walker just putting his partnership together with Enzo, and Grace Stebney there with the biggest of the faults on 23, but we'll see, interestingly, how well she does. Here is the winning round from the jump-off for Daniel Coyle, Daniel and Legacy.
Oh, it was such a good ride because it was so smooth and organized. A little bit of a slip, but he rode right forward through it on that turn. And then great slice back on the blue and white. And that jump that caused so many problems, the horse really jumped it perfectly. That was super, super round.
So that was how it was won. Daniel Coyle and Legacy taking the opening victory of the International Jumper Tour here at the Washington International Horse Show for 2022. Awards coming up and so much more. I hope you'll join us again for the accumulator class, the costume accumulator, coming up later on this evening. A provisional start time of 9:15, 9:20 local time for that. Talk to you then.
Let's give a nice welcome back, finishing up in 5th place for Israel, Daniel Blumen and Gemma W. Finishing up in 4th place for the USA, Laura Kraut and Kung Fu. In 3rd place for the U.S., Katie Dynan and Atika de Hovens. The runner-up is Hunter Holloway for the USA and Pepita Conspita. And your winner for Ireland, Daniel Coyle and Legacy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will ask you to please rise as we honor the nation of our winning rider with the playing of the national anthem of Ireland. Now the win photo as we get set here to welcome on our presenters again for the Washington National. Our president of the show, Vicki Lowell, joined us to make the presentation of the awards to Daniel Coyle and Legacy. We salute the caretaker of our winning entry again. Let's give a nice round of applause to the man who works so hard behind the scenes to take care of this winning mound of Daniel Coyle's Legacy. And we will send Daniel off on the round of honor now. Our winning rider, Daniel Coyle, and Legacy will lead the charge here. Our round of honor in the victory lap for Legacy and Daniel Coyle of Ireland, followed by Hunter Holloway of the U.S. and Pepita Conspita, Katie Dynan and Atika Hovent for the U.S., along with Confu and Laura Kraut, Gemma W. and Daniel Blumen, and Paul O'Shea and Emerald Bennett Borhoff, followed again in the 7th position by Beat Manley and Dijon Teodor Zed. Those were our results for the jump off. Well, we will get the stage set here as we have activities coming up, some bar night awards to present, and then it's the all-exciting costume class in our accumulator format coming up tonight later on. Now we'll send it up for a word from some of our many sponsors that help make this Washington International Horse Show possible. You pay attention to the Jumbotrons, please.
It's not subtle. Now you can give them what they've always wanted. Real food for dogs. Caesar Wholesome Bowls and Simply Crafted. Caesar, love them back.
One shake and cats come running.
Found matches.
So be careful what you shake.
Run away!
Temptation's cat treats. All it takes is a shake.
The world looks good on you. The way your hair flows in the breeze, the smiles you crack with every new experience. You just can't stop devouring the city or dancing till tomorrow. The world looks good on you. We welcome you to see more of it.
I was married to the highest-ranking American in ISIS.
My name is Casey Hammer, and I'm about to reveal the dark, twisted secrets of the Hammer family.
I am the dragon. I can whoop butt.
Go get him! See how we turn this 12,000 square foot relic
There's a bone.
into a macabre masterpiece. Comfortable?
Yes.
We all love making memories, capturing the moments that become stories. But the thrill is in the doing, especially when you can do just about anything you want. Do 4Gs. Do a Vidal Blanc with notes of oak and apple. Do sunset along the Potomac. Do you. Prince George's County, Maryland. You do you.
Nutro, feed clean.
U.S. Equestrian. Thousands of equestrians have united
to watch, to learn, to experience, to compete. In the pursuit of fairness, safety, welfare, and joy.
From the grassroots to the Olympic Games.
Each with personal goals, but all united together for the joy of horse sports.
Ride united. Ride with U.S. Equestrian.
Stands for just 52 years of age after a 5-year battle. The Laura Pickett Trophy for Excellence in Horsemanship honours her contributions to the sport she loved and the legacy she left, inspiring those around her. Generosity, enthusiasm for life and good horsemanship are traits valued by all. And Laura not only had these qualities, she shared them with everyone around her. The award is presented to the up-and-coming adult or child rider and their trainer who best exhibits the enthusiasm, dedication, style, commitment to excellence that brings out the best in horse and rider at the Washington International Regional Show and Zone 3 Finals. We're delighted to welcome this year's winner of the Laura Pickett Trophy is Savannah Smith. And thanks to her trainers as well, to Donna Tita and Michelle Mahoney. And joining us for the presentation are Vicky Lowell, Charles Ancona, Brian and Corey Pickett to present. And Savannah, who's come from a background in pony racing and pony club, and has been a great inspiration there too. Not long after healing from an injury from a rotational fall, she was reached a great new heights as well with new jumpers, and continues to be going at brilliance for her. So ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Receiving now the Laura Pickett Award is Savannah Smith. Well, congratulations to her achieving a life long-held dream of going to pony finals last summer, and then it's gone on from there. Fantastic to have her as a winner. Savannah Smith, winner of the Laura Pickett Trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring the 2022 Washington International Horse Show Junior Committee, sponsored by Signature Academics. In 2009, Washington introduced its Junior Committee and Youth Ambassador program. Now in its 13th year, the program selects teams to represent the show's youth perspective and support WIH staff while gaining hands-on experience. A junior committee applicant should be well-versed in the horse world, able to articulate when asked questions about the show in classes at Washington International, able to possess a level of comfort with special events in the press, and able to achieve and maintain academic excellence. The junior committee members play an active role in the Washington International team throughout the year and are a crucial part of the team during the show week. The selected have the opportunity to be considered for the Youth Ambassador. Their names are all up on the board right now, and there are 40 of our members of the Junior Committee. From this committee, a Youth Ambassador is chosen. The Washington International Horse Show Youth Ambassador must demonstrate leadership, as he or she will serve as the chairman of the Junior Committee. Our 2022 Washington International Junior Committee Chair and Youth Ambassador is Katie Rice of Reston, Virginia, who attends South Lakes High School. Happy 13th anniversary, and thank you to our Junior Committee for their enthusiasm, dedication, and support. And tonight we award our Junior Committee Ambassador, Katie Rice, with a Washington International Horse Show cooler to celebrate the great year of team leadership and dedication. She rides in the Hunters and with her trainer, graduates this year from South Lakes High School in Virginia, and we know she is off to do great things in the world. Let's give a nice round of applause to Katie and our entire Junior Committee for all of their hard work this year. A nice salute, thank you to our Junior Committee members as we get our stage set for all of our excitement coming up here. With the one more class to go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, runner-up, we'll show the runner-up video first, and then we'll show the video of the winner. So, Matt, if you would, roll the runner-ups video.
This side over here. Come here.
now let's see the video of our winning entry.
All right, yeah, no, that's GoPro. There's a speaker right here that's going into it. I'm wondering why the ambience are picking up so much. Bring that more down or right here? Right here. This way, slightly, and down towards the ring. You want tape? Yeah, you got tape. No, leave it on the ground.
This year's Barn Night Video Contest presented by Dover Salary. Welcome barns to create videos about how your barn can go green. The winning barn, which was Serene Acres, will receive a clinic with Archie Cox, a hunter and jumper trainer from California. We'll be conducting a clinic for them. And as well, they will receive a runner-up will receive a $500 Dover Salary gift certificate, and that will be awarded to the Madeira School. So all of you guys from Serene Acres, congratulations on your win, and as well for the runner-up Madeira School. The rest of the videos will be shown at the conclusion of our show this evening, and let's see as we work our way through our competition. Wait around till the end of the evening to see the rest of those videos. And we had 24 barns here that joined us. We have a bunch of awards that we will be letting you know about. The best recycled or living jump design. And that, again, is a barn photo shoot with Hannah Jones Photography. And that will go to Quinn Haven Stables. The reserve champion receives a $500 Dover Salary gift certificate, and that was Serene Acres Riding Center. Our Group Spirit Award winners, they received $1,500 Dover Salary shopping spree, and our Group Spirit Award will go to the Tamarack Stables. The largest barn overall is Enticement out of Maryland, and they are the largest barn from Maryland as well. The largest barn from Virginia is Tamarack Stables. And the winning poster is the poster from the St. Margaret Pony Club. Receives a Maryland Salary basket full of goodies. The reserve champion, a $250 Dover Salary gift certificate, and that's the Iron Bridge Hounds Pony Club, finishing our reserve champions in the best poster, encouraging green practices. The group traveling the farthest to barn night is Serene Acres Riding Center, and they received $250 Maryland Salary gift certificate. A $150 Maryland Salary gift certificate goes to the reserve, and that was the Loudon 4-H Canterlopes, finishing up our reserves. Our congratulations to all of our contest winners here for Barn Night, and as we get set to go with our course build coming up now, as we work our way through again, the Enticement barn is the biggest overall barn, and again had the most people here for Barn Night. Let's give them a nice salute one more time as we go into our course build for the costume class, our final competition of the evening. Well, while we build the course, step on out and take a visit around some of the many vendors up on the concourse. A variety of shopping needs or holiday gifts all there. Stop on by and pay them a visit. Everything from massage chairs to equestrian apparel and gift items, and much, much more, all available for your shopping enjoyment. While you have time, make sure you take a trip up and peruse the Washington International Horse Show souvenir store. Lots of merchandise available. It's located outside the VIP entrance on the concourse. Grab a commemorative poster and some WIHS merchandise to make this a week you will never forget.